in ahead, but I think Brentford certainly scored the type of goal we expected. That's Maupay ghosting in after work from James Toney. Brentford looked dangerous off set pieces, exactly as we predicted. City's had ton of chances. Their keepers made all kinds of saves. I think City at times trying to be too precise, maybe with their goal scoring. Snapshots seem to be having more of an effect. I think Foden's had a couple of snapshots, but we're still on for our prediction. 4-1 still reachable, so I'm happy.
I know that you said before the game you didn't want me to jinx anything with my stats, but I've got some other stats for you if that'll make you feel a bit better. Is that okay? Brentford have lost a league high 23 points from winning positions this season.
Okay.
Having that. And City have won their last 3 away games in the Premier League despite going behind in all of them.
Let's hope it's 4.
Okay.
Let's hope it's 4 now.
Now I've said that, let's hope it's 4. Would you assess the first half?
Yeah, like the right said, I think in terms of the tempo, the intensity has probably been higher than I would have expected due to being a goal behind, but domination in terms of possession, chances, we did say Brentford would have to be very efficient, not getting a high number of chances, and they got one and scored it. But I'm pleased it's 1-1. I think it's a totally, and it's easy to say that, but it's a totally different game if you have to score to get level within 45 minutes. Now they know, like, you
scored at a great time, didn't they?
Yeah,
Into that change.
I think statistically, whatever the scoreline is, I think the goal before half-time is the best time to score for motivation, morale, whatever. It's just kind of, you look at that now, the speed of them walking off, like marching off City players, and then it's a bit more subdued from the Brentford players.
Did you feel that when you were playing Darius, if you'd been in a team that scored seconds before the end of the half, did you feel it really lift you?
Yeah, obviously, if you're the team that scored right before half, it's brilliant going in at half time. The difference between that dressing room and a frustrated dressing room, where you don't know where the goal's going to come from, where you come in as a forward and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I haven't done what I'm supposed to be doing here. It's different. The forwards are, trying their best to score goals, trying to cause problems. Foden's grabbed one before half time, a great lift for all of the front line.
So let's talk about both the goals. Obviously, we'll start with the Brentford goal that came first. So it was Maupay, who, of course, we talked about before the game. I mean, pretty much as direct a goal as you're going to get. A big, long kick out from Flecken through to Maupay. But before we talk about his finish, Joleon, talk to me about the effect that Ivan Toney has. What is the impact of what he is doing on the goal? Yeah,
his impact is to disrupt the defenders and the defence. And again, aesthetically, you're looking at the setup from City. It's like back four with Rodri in front. You're thinking that looks secure, but the position of the forwards means you're still open, because now you've just left a 2v2. You've kind of left Guardiola and Ake versus Ivan Toney and Maupay, because one, you can't be offside. So they've geared up to kicked it to the right, and they've just kicked it down the middle. So for me, you kind of have to disassociate yourself from it looking great on paper. It's just, well, where is Toney standing? Let me go and stand next to him, and then everyone else pick up their positions. So you kind of, like for me, if Rodri's going to mark him, stand next to him. So even if Rodri's deeper, because you can't be offside anyway, you might as well start next to him, and then the back four will drop on accordance to the flight of the ball. But it hasn't been that case, and it literally, it's like Route 1, and like, that shouldn't be happening, should it really?
Not at
Especially
all.
when you know, it's like, it's different if it's a surprise element, you don't expect that. Like, we knew that was going to happen, and we haven't been privy to seeing Brentford play regularly enough to know, but we were always aware that they're going to go direct.
So they go direct, and it comes to Maupay. What do you make of the finish?
I was impressed with the finish. We spoke about it, didn't we? We thought that he would take 2 or 3 chances to get his goal, but he goes through 1v1, and I think it's his last touch before he strikes it into the net, which upsets the goalkeeper. And I don't know why goalkeepers do this, but forward takes a last touch, and keepers adjust to that touch, and now the keeper can't get back to the other side where Maupay's put it. So he must have done that 1,000 times in training, and it's come off really well for him tonight.
He's been involved in the game a lot. I mean, obviously with the goal. He's also been, I mean, we were laughing before the game because Paul Dickov described Maupay as a Mediterranean Paul Dickov, and we laughed, and I can really see it now.
Just proved it, hasn't it?
Frustrating.
Yes,
not just for goals. Like you said, he's just annoying to play against. You know what I mean? Like, wants to get involved, wants to tackle, wants to chase and hurry defenders and go down when he's probably stronger than he's showing. Do you know what I mean? So there's so many ways he can be effective and not just score goals. But yeah, he's had a positive game for Brentford.
I think if Paul Dickov heard you describe him as annoying, he would take that as a compliment.
No, 100%.
You will.
I've told him that. I've told him that many
Yes.
times. Like, I used to hate playing against Dick.
He's told me to be more annoying in my game. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No one wants that. No defender. Like, annoying is not a compliment to the person that's saying it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm saying someone's annoying. I ain't happy about that. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's frustrating.
He has picked up that yellow card, though, for the challenge on Rodri.
That's right.
How do you think that's going to affect his game going forward?
I think he needs to be careful at set pieces because he seems to be wanting to play wrestling games with people. So he's got to be careful there because that's another straight yellow, especially if he's been doing it for the first half. I'd expect the manager to have a word with him at half-time and say, calm that down. Or you could expect to change because Brentford, with 10 men, 5-6-1 maybe.
Oh, yeah. That's a different game, that.
Him and Ruben Diaz have been
For around the corners.
wrestling.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's been... And he's doing it, for me, in the opposite box. Like, do it when you're attacking, frustrating, because you've got nothing to lose. Like, you get a yellow card, which means you're off, and you're giving away a penalty. So it's pretty silly to be trying it there and frustrate. And you're frustrating someone that's, like, probably temperament is probably as good as anyone's. Do you know what I mean? Ruben Diaz isn't
You're
someone
not
that you
gonna
would...
get him,
you would kind of frustrate. So I think Rodri more lately, I've seen him probably get a bit more flustered this season. So pick a better target if you're going to do it.
Definitely. It's going to be really interesting to see how he goes into the second half, indeed, if he does, and how he changes his game in the second half. Thankfully, of course, City kept going. We had a numerous number of chances, and it came for Phil Foden. I brought him in this week in my fantasy team, Joleon.
He should be in everyone's, to be fair.
Yes.
I think he's having his as positive season and impactful as he's had. He's always been effective and good and very consistent since he's joined the team. But I think this season, the responsibility of not having Kevin and not having Erling for a period of time, I think he's burdened that responsibility, and he looks like he's enjoying it. And yeah, we've seen him like operate out wide, but when he's in the middle, he's super effective and he gets his goal from there.
We talked before the game as well quite a lot about where everybody was going to be playing, Darius. Could you just quickly talk us through, from your perspective, where everybody was, what the tactics were, what was going on? Sorry.
Well, Bernardo's stuck to the right side. Hasn't put many crosses in, but he's been servicing De Bruyne from out there. And De Bruyne has been putting crosses in, and they've been hitting the first man quite a lot. So they'll probably try and improve on that. As Joleon says, Foden's been operating in the middle of the pitch, which is much better. And we spoke about him being the type of player where if you can just get the ball to him, he'll get a shot off, he'll get a snapshot off. And when it's not as precise, sometimes they're the harder ones for the goalkeeper to save. They take deflections and things off people. And then you've seen Guardiola operating high up on the left. So it's not, nobody predicted that. But as I said, they're such a fluid team. Players end up in different areas of the pitch anyway. It's just where they're going to, play second half. They need to get some goals. Will they adjust things? I don't think they need to. I think the amount of shots they've got on target speaks for itself.
And Flecken's having an incredible game. I mean, he's made a number of saves. Alvarez, a couple from Alvarez, Guardiola save as well. I mean, he's having a great game.
Yeah, I think he said 10 shots on target. There can't be many games you save 10 shots in one half. So I think, and I hope, he's going to have to do similar numbers next half too.
He's had good looks at the shots, so I think you can see what Man City players are trying to do, find the corners of the net. I think the goalkeepers are trained for that, every day. And I'm not saying they're easy saves, that's unfair. I just think if City just, score the ugly goals every now and again, that might get them going.
Yeah, and again, I think it come from a prescribed cross, like the ball. It's not a great ball. No one's really kind of trying to get on the end of it, and all of a sudden it's a poor header, and then Phil's.
That's the type of goal.
It's not clean. It's not clean, but it's just put it in the box, make defenders defend, and you don't know the outcome. And obviously they got their chance.
We nearly took the lead as well just after that into injury time. Haaland into the box. Was it Collins with?
Yeah, great defending.
Talk to me about that tackle.
Unreal tackle. Again, the ball was probably just over the line in terms of being too good for Erling to. It's probably easier to defend than to score that ball. I'd like the bounce, the pace, the way he was running. Like, he's flat out having to slide with the inside of his left foot. He could probably do it, but it's a lot harder for him to get on the end of that than it would be for the defender. But nevertheless, you can't take nothing away from Collins than what he did.
So close. Great tackle there. Thank you. So 1-1 at half-time. Please keep sending in your WhatsApp questions. I'll ask a few more in just a second. But before then, I need to give you clue number 3 on today's Mystery Blues. So you had 1 and 2 at the start of the show. We all think we know who it is. Let's have a look if clue 3 is going to give it away for you all. So this player captained Man City's FA Cup Youth Cup winning team 2008. This man is a former teammate of both Joleon and Darius at City and Leicester respectively. Clue 3. This player has over 250 Premier League appearances for Burnley and tonight's opponents, Brentford. Nods of approval all around. You know it now, definitely?
Yep, definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely, nah.
Yeah. You predicted it.
Yeah. At the start?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You did say it right at the start.
I didn't know you played with him at Leicester.
Yeah. I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's why then, yeah. I must have got it early then, after clue 1.
You did. You had a good guess after clue 1.
Oh.
If you know who it is, pop it in now using the WhatsApp number. And, of course, at full time, we will let you know who it is. Thank you for sending your questions in. I wanted to get to this one from Julian before the show. Joleon from Julian. We seem to be talking a lot about players adapting to a left-back position. It feels like our last real left-back was Kolarov. Would you agree?
Gael Clichy was after Kolarov, no?
Was he?
Was he? I don't know.
I feel like Clichy was before.
Kolarov was here when I was here, and then Gael come after. Who left earlier?
Don't know. I'm going to Google it now.
Kolarov was definitely one, by the way.
Yes.
But it was Gael, Zinchenko was here. But again, what are we saying? Just an out-and-out defensive fullback. Kolar's not a bad shout, by the way.
Right. Gael left in 2017. So did Kolarov. So, yeah. Okay. Yes. Same-ish times.
Not bad. Not bad. Players.
Yeah, definitely. How have you thought of Guardiola?
I thought he's done well, yeah. And again, given a lot of responsibility in terms of creating the width. I think sometimes he could be a little bit wider, I think, when the ball's being changed. I think the fact that he's narrow allows Brentford to be more compact and to kind of just be safe in their defensive unit. I think if he's wide, he may not get the ball, but someone has to respect him enough and kind of disassociate themselves with the setup. So I think if he's a bit more brave and being wider, I think he could cause more problems.
Right, the teams are coming back out onto the pitch there. You can see Ivan Toney will be back here at full time, where hopefully we'll be talking about another Manchester City win, and I won't be getting told off by Joleon Lescott for jinxing it with my stats. Alistair Mann and Andy Morrison will have the second half commentary for you now on the Manchester City app if you're not currently watching on there. Thank you very much for joining us for this half-time Matchday Live. We'll see you in 45 minutes. Fingers crossed. Come on, Blues.
Thanks, Natalie. Welcome back to the G-Tech Community Stadium. Brentford out very, very early. Thomas Frank has a look of stern thunder on his face.